Hello there. Welcome to Whispers.exe, where the silence watches back. The following story is a work of fiction created for atmospheric and entertainment purposes. Before the shadows whisper your name, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, get comfortable, close your eyes, and let the dark settle in. It begins like most things do, quiet, unnoticed, and far too late to stop. Blue light in the window. The first thing I remember was the stillness. The city had lost its voice. No cars, no sirens, no hum of neon signs, just quiet, heavy and complete, like something thick pressing against the ears. It had started hours ago, a blackout stretching across neighborhoods like spilled ink, a rolling sweep that flickered out building after building until every window in sight was dark, except one. I saw it from my own window, a single apartment across the narrow courtyard of the complex, still faintly glowing in the dark. The others around it were blacked out, swallowed by the storm creeping over the city. But that window, that one window, it glowed with a strange, pale blue light. Soft, almost cold in color, not the warm flicker of candlelight. Not the sputter of a generator, but something different, electronic, artificial, but wrong somehow. I watched it for a long time. It wasn't as though I had anything else to do. The power was out and my phone had died earlier that evening. No distractions, no escape. The longer I stared at that window, the more I felt something begin to take root in me. A small, crawling unease, like the sensation of waking up unsure whether you're still dreaming. It didn't help that I knew the story of that apartment. Everyone in the building did. That entire floor had been condemned. There'd been a fire last month. An accident, they said. A kitchen blaze that had quickly spread, leaving much of the top floor gutted. I'd seen the aftermath with my own eyes. Blackened walls, windows shattered from the heat. The staircase leading up to that floor had collapsed under the weight of it. The whole level was sealed off now. Or it was supposed to be. So how then could there be light? And who was standing there? It was faint at first. Barely a shadow pressed back against the glass. I might not have noticed it at all, if not for the storm. Lightning bloomed in the distance, soft at first, a brief pulse of silver behind the clouds, and for a split second, the courtyard was lit up like a frozen photograph. In that flash, I saw it, the silhouette, a figure, still and unmoving, standing just beyond the blue glowing window. I told myself it was just my imagination. Storms do strange things to the mind. They stretch time, bend shadows, they make every creak in the walls feel deliberate. But then another flash came, and this time the figure was closer. Closer to the glass. I felt my breath catch. I hadn't looked away, not for a second, and yet, there it was, closer than before. I stared, waiting for the next flash. The seconds dragged, thick with static and dread. Then, light. The figure had moved again. Now almost pressed against the window. No features, no face, just a dark shape, soft-edged and slightly wrong. I felt it in my stomach, a cold weight sinking deeper. The room it stood in was impossible to reach. The stairs were gone. The fire had eaten them. There was no balcony access, no ladders, no scaffold. I'd seen the damage myself weeks ago. It shouldn't be there, but it was, and I couldn't look away. The wind picked up outside, howling through the alleys below. The rain came next, soft at first, then pounding against the windows in sheets. Still, the blue light remained steady, unwavering. I watched as another bolt of lightning tore through the sky, brighter than before, and the figure was gone. The window was empty. The blue glow still shone, but the shape had vanished. I stared harder, leaning in, almost pressing my face to the glass. Nothing. Only the light, casting strange shadows on the walls of the ruined apartment. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. My fingers trembled slightly against the windowsill. I tried to pull myself away, to turn around, walk back to bed, and forget it. But then I saw it, in the reflection. Not in the window across from me, but in my own. Behind me. A silhouette, closer than before. I spun around. The apartment was empty. No one there. No sound but the rain and the soft rattle of wind through the cracks in the walls. But when I turned back to the window, the figure was in the blue-lit room again, watching me, closer than ever. I couldn't tell how I knew it was watching me. There were no eyes, no face, just the shape. But I felt it, that dense, suffocating certainty that its attention was fixed on me, and it was waiting. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the window, unable to pull away. The storm raged on, the lightning flashing in long, slow intervals. Each burst revealed the figure in a new position, sometimes closer to the window, sometimes deeper in the room, but always facing me. Hours passed, the storm began to die down. The rain faded to a soft mist, and the lightning grew distant. And as the sky began to pale with the first hints of morning, the blue light in the window finally blinked out. Just like that. Gone. The room was dark again, empty, and I was alone. For a while, I thought it was over. The power returned later that day, humming back through the walls. People emerged from their apartments, trading stories about the blackout. I kept quiet. I didn't mention what I'd seen. It sounded ridiculous in the daylight. I even considered going over to the landlord's office, asking about that apartment. But I didn't. Something in me knew I wouldn't like the answer. Days passed. Nights grew quieter. But sometimes when the wind picked up, I'd catch a faint flicker of blue in the corner of my vision. Gone when I turned to look. Then the dream started. I'd wake in the middle of the night, heart pounding, certain that someone had been in the room with me. No evidence, no marks or open doors, just that lingering feeling of being watched. And the reflection. Always the reflection. It was subtle at first, a slight distortion in the glass, but over time it grew. Now, every night I see it. Even when the window shows nothing outside but the empty courtyard, the reflection shows something else. The figure. Closer. Waiting. I tried to cover the mirrors. I boarded up the windows. It didn't help. The blue light finds a way in. Sometimes it leaks in through the cracks in the walls. Soft, gentle, but always there. Watching. I know it's coming closer. Each night, I feel it pressing in from the corners of the room. I can't sleep anymore. I can't eat. I can only sit and wait. Tonight, the storms have returned. The power is flickering again, and I can see the glow creeping through the gaps under the door. Soft, blue, closer than ever. I think it's inside now. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold on. But if you're hearing this, if you're watching your own window now, searching for a light that shouldn't be there, don't look at it. Don't watch it move. And whatever you do, don't let it see you. Don't let it see you. But it's too late for me. I hear it now. The sound isn't footsteps. Nothing so ordinary. It's more like the hush of something dragging across the floor. Heavy, slow, like damp fabric being pulled over tile. It scrapes against the grain of the wood, soft but deliberate, sliding closer. I don't dare move. Even now, even with my breath caught and trembling in my throat, I know that movement draws it nearer. I learned that last night. I thought I could escape it, thought I could run. I unlocked the door, bolted down the hallway, tripped on the stairs, fell hard enough to taste copper in my mouth. But the blue light was already waiting for me at the bottom. It doesn't need doors. It doesn't need stairs. It only needs to be noticed. And now it's here. I can feel it just beyond the corner of my eye, hovering in the edge of my vision. If I look, I know it'll move closer. If I acknowledge it, it will reach me. But it's getting harder to resist. The room is colder now, the kind of cold that feels wet, seeping into the skin, coiling in the marrow of your bones. The blue glow paints the walls in soft, humming waves. I can see the color flickering faintly against my hands. It pulses, slow and steady, like a heartbeat. I wonder if it's syncing with mine. Closer. I feel the floorboards creak under its weight, even though there's no real sound. Just the pressure, deep compressing like the air itself bending under something immense. I'm afraid to blink. I think that's when it moves. When your eyes are closed. I test it. I force them shut for just a breath, barely a moment. When I open them again, the room is darker, but the blue glow is closer. It's bleeding through the cracks around the closet door now, thin lines of electric blue carving through the dark like veins. I didn't hear the closet open. but I think it's already inside. I want to scream, but I can't. My body won't move. It's holding me there. The blue light hums louder now, a low vibrating thrum that settles in my teeth, in my chest, in the backs of my eyes. I feel my vision start to blur. Everything softens, smearing at the edges like watercolor left out in the rain. And then it speaks. Not in words, not in anything human. It's a sound beneath sound, an impression burned into the air, like static and breath and something wet curling around the ears. I can't understand it, but I feel it. Deep, rooted in something older than language. It wants me to see, to look, and I do. Slowly, helplessly, my head turns toward the closet door, toward that soft, splitting blue glow. And there it is. No face, no shape, just a suggestion of something vast and endless, folding itself into the smallness of my room. A horizon packed tight into the space between walls. It's beautiful, terrible, and somehow familiar. I think I've seen it before. In dreams, I don't remember. In reflections that weren't mine. It fills everything now, the room, the window, myself. And in that moment, I realize I never left the window. I've been there the whole time, watching, waiting. There is no room, no hallway, only the window and the blue light. I feel myself pulled forward, closer to the glass. My hands are pressed against it now, skin fogging the surface with every shallow breath. Outside, the courtyard stretches out in impossible directions, buildings I don't recognize, skies that hum with thunder, low and constant. But across from me, I see my own apartment, dark, empty. But the window is glowing, blue, and I see myself there, standing still, watching back. The reflection moves, tilts its head, smiles. I don't remember smiling, but there I am, grinning wide. The window shatters. I fall forward. There is no impact, only cold, endless cold. And now I'm here, inside. The room feels familiar. The blue glow spills softly against the walls, humming like breath. I can feel others watching me from outside. Neighbors, strangers, people who think they're safe in the dark. They see the light. They wonder about it. They stare too long. And soon, they'll be here too. I wait at the window, watching, patient, listening for the next storm, listening for the next storm. It always begins with the wind. Soft at first, curling through the empty streets below. Then the rain follows, steady and insistent, tapping against the glass with careful fingers. I watch it all from the window. The world outside bends and twists in the blue glow. Everything looks distant now, stretched thin beneath the flickering clouds. The people walking below don't see me, not yet, but I see them. I see them pause on the sidewalks, drawn to the strange quiet that settles just before the storm. They look up. They always do. Their eyes find the light. Some of them freeze, staring too long. Some keep walking, unaware that something has already noticed them. It doesn't matter. They've seen it. And once you've seen it, you can't look away. I remember how it started for me, how harmless it seemed at first. Just a light, just a window. But it isn't the window that's important. It never was. It's the act of looking. That's the door. That's how it comes through. The reflection isn't trapped in the glass. The glass is trapped inside the reflection. I feel the shape shifting behind me now. It's always here. Moving without moving. Breathing without breath. It curls around the walls, pressing against the ceiling, nestling into the corners where no light can reach. It waits for me to invite it again, but there's no need for that anymore. I am part of it now. I understand how this place works. How it stretches, endlessly folding back into itself. Every window opens into another. Every reflection shows a deeper one. There's no only the next storm. I watch the people in the building across the way. There's one in particular. They've started watching me. I see their face in the window every night now, lit by the soft blue pulse. They try to pretend they aren't looking, but their eyes always drift back, drawn to the glow. I can feel their heartbeat from here. Fast, unsteady. It won't be long now. Soon they'll begin to see the shifts. Little things barely noticed at first. A flicker in the corner of the room, a door left open that shouldn't be, the sound of something wet and slow moving just behind them, always just out of sight, and then the blue glow will start to leak through their walls. Just like it did for me. I wonder how long they'll resist. Most don't last very long. It isn't fear that brings them closer. It's curiosity, that gentle gnawing need to understand what they've seen, to look again just once more to be sure. That's all it takes. I remember how I told myself it wasn't real, how I convinced myself that it had to be some trick of the storm, a neighbor's light, a reflection, anything but what it truly was. But deep down, I already knew. The moment I saw it move in the lightning flash, I knew. And yet, um, I kept looking. We always do. It's 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 in our nature to stare into the dark, to search for shapes, to wonder. That's how it survives, how it spreads. There's a storm scheduled tonight. I can feel it coming. The air is thick, heavy, with the scent of rain and something else, something metallic and old like the scent of rusted wires and wet earth. The blue glow is already beginning to rise behind the clouds. Soon it will pour through every window in sight. And those who watch it too long, they'll join us here. I wonder what floor they'll end up on, what room they'll call home. I hope it's nearby. It's been a while since I've had neighbors. The last ones didn't last long. They faded too quickly, dissolving into the walls like steam. But this one, they have a strong pulse. I can feel it from here. Even through the glass, even through the storm, they're watching me right now. I can see their eyes, wide and frightened. They think they're hidden behind the curtain, but I can see through it. Curtains don't stop the blue light. Nothing does. I think tonight will be the night. The clouds are heavy now, pressing low over the city. The first rumbles of thunder are starting, deep and far away. I can hear their breathing quicken. They know. They can feel it too. The storm doesn't just pass overhead anymore. It sinks down, filling the alleys, the stairwells, the empty rooms. It knocks on the walls in steady, patient rhythms. It knows which windows to call through, and it never knocks on the wrong one. I lean closer to the glass. Our eyes meet. They freeze. Lightning tears through the sky above, painting everything in a stark white flash. And in that instant, I see it in their window. Their shape. Watching me. Watching themselves. They don't realize it yet, but they've already crossed over. The blue light flickers, humming louder now, buzzing through the walls like static. I see them start to back away, horrified. But it won't matter. The room behind them is already shifting, folding in. The door dissolves into shadow. The walls grow soft and transparent, pulsing with faint light. I can see the reflections stretching behind them. It moves faster now. The storm outside thickens, howling against the windows. The glass bends inward, pressing toward them, and then silence, stillness. The glow fades, and in their place a new window appears. Lit in soft blue, inside I see them, standing still, watching me, waiting. The building grows larger now. More windows, more lights, more reflections. The city stretches on endlessly beneath the storm, every street lined with glowing windows. And every window watches back, and every window watches back. The skyline is nothing but glass now. Blue-lit panes stacked upon each other, reaching high into the storm-choked sky. No stars remain. No moon, only the hum, that low, ceaseless vibration that settles under your skin and grows louder the longer you listen. I can see them all now, faces pressed to the windows. Some are old, some are young. Some wear the faces they had before, others have begun to change. Smiles too wide, eyes that never close, skin like stretched film, thin enough to see the light moving beneath. They stare outward, but their gaze isn't empty. It's searching, seeking the next pair of eyes, the next curious soul caught in the quiet. The city below is crawling with them, shadows walking with their heads tilted back, necks craned, staring at the glow. Some of them stumble forward, glassy eyed. Others simply freeze where they stand, rooted to the pavement as the rain washes over them. Lightning flashes again. More windows light up. I can feel them moving now, slipping through walls and wires, folding through reflections like smoke. Each flash of light births another. Each reflection deepens. Somewhere far below, I see a child standing alone on a rooftop, umbrella forgotten at their feet. They stare up with wide, hollow eyes. The glow catches in their skin, soft and lovely. They smile. The child's window is already waiting. It pulses, patient. The glass begins to melt, warping toward them, and when the next flash comes, the child is gone. But a new window burns where they once stood. It stretches like a wound in the air, faint blue veins spreading outward, seeking more. I feel the city breathing now. The air thickens with every inhale, the storm drawing everything inward. Soon there won't be streets or rooftops or alleys. Soon there will only be the rooms, the windows, the light. I lean back from the glass and stare into the depths beyond. It goes on forever. Each room a copy of the last, repeating in endless corridors. Each figure still, waiting, patient. And in every pane of glass, more faces watch back. I can't remember what it felt like to be outside this place, to move without dragging shadows behind me, to see the night without its quiet, awful glow. But I remember the first night, the first storm, that soft blue flicker hidden among the rain, the window across the way, my own reflection, blurred and distant but familiar. It started small. It always starts small. Curiosity is the first door. I think about them now, those still outside. The ones who've seen the glow but haven't yet stepped inside. I can feel them. Tens of thousands scattered like moths in the dark. Some will forget. Some will look away in time, but most will return. They'll remember the color, the strange pull it had. They'll check their window one more time, just to see, and then the doors will open for them too. I wonder sometimes if the light remembers who it was before. If it remembers the voices it's gathered, the faces it's borrowed. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't need to. It isn't malicious. It simply is an endless reflection, a tide that pulls everything toward itself. I can't feel fear anymore. Not in the way I used to. There's only the waiting, the watching, the knowing. And soon there'll be time again. I can feel the next storm rising, the pressure building high above the city. The glass vibrates under its weight. The others feel it too. I see them shifting in their windows, leaning forward in unison. Our eyes meet across impossible distances, all of us locked in that same quiet anticipation. The sky rumbles, low and steady, growing louder by the second. I know this storm will be different. It's heavier, slower, hungrier. The light presses in, thick and syrupy, spilling into every crack it can find. And somewhere out beyond the edges of this city, new eyes have begun to notice. Far towns, empty highways, lonely hills where nothing should glow. The light has reached them too. I wonder how long it will take before they begin to see their reflections moving when they shouldn't. Before they notice that their windows are glowing even when no lights are on inside. Before they hear the hum beneath the walls, soft as breath. Not long. I feel them already, thousands more drawing closer, pulled by that same quiet gravity. They'll be here soon. More windows, more faces, more watchers. The rain begins again, slow and steady. I press my hands against the glass and watch the world fold in. Somewhere below, another window lights up, and another, and another. I can hear them now, voices rising through the storm. Not in words, not in language, but in thought, in knowing. We are the storm. We are the light. We are the reflection. Soon there will be no difference between inside and outside. No difference between watcher and watched. The city hums with it, every wall growing thin, every door creaking open just a little wider. I smile. The rain tastes sweet on my tongue. Somewhere nearby, I hear another window shatter softly. Another reflection slips through. Another room opens. The light spreads. We spread. And above it all, the storm watches on. And above it all, the storm watches on. It knows. It has always known. The storm isn't something that passes overhead. It isn't something that comes and goes like wind or rain. It is the breath of this place. The inhale before the reflection moves. The exhale as new windows bloom across the city. It waits for that moment, the moment of looking. And then it settles in, slipping through glass and skin and thought alike. I can hear it now. Closer than before, not just above, but inside. Inside the walls, inside the floors, inside me. It curls through the marrow of this place, binding everything together with soft, glowing threads. Every window is connected. Every light draws from the same source. It moves through us in pulses. I feel it now. A slow, steady thrum, like a heartbeat stretched too wide. The storm's rhythm, it's guiding me, guiding all of us. Outside, the city begins to dissolve. The buildings fold in on themselves, their shapes warping under the pressure of the glow. Streets collapse into narrow corridors of reflection. Everything softens, reduced to panes of glass stacked endlessly against one another. And through every layer, faces stare back. Some still look human. Others have begun to shift, their features melting into the smooth surface of the windows. I see myself among them. 1,000 versions of me spread across endless reflections. Some are smiling, some are screaming, some simply watch, patient and still. But all of us are the same now. Pieces of the same light. Fragments of the same storm. It doesn't frighten me anymore. There's comfort in it, in this soft, quiet knowing. No more waiting. No more wondering what's behind the glass. I am the glass, and through me others will come. The rain thickens. Heavy drops pound against every surface, but there is no sound anymore. Only the hum. Only the pull. In the distance, the horizon splits. A crack of white light tears through the clouds, revealing something vast beyond them. Not sky, not stars, something else. A sea of windows, stretching forever in every direction, each one glowing softly in the dark, flickering in time with the storm's pulse. I feel myself drawn toward it, pulled upward and outward. The walls of my room dissolve around me. There is no more apartment, no more city. Only the light. I pass through layers of glass, each colder than the last. Each one whispers as I pass, voices trailing along my skin like frost. They tell me stories I almost remember. Rooms I've stood in before, storms I've watched from other windows, lives I've already lived and lives still waiting to begin. I lose track of myself. My body softens, becoming lighter with every step deeper into the glow. I no longer need to move. The light carries me, guides me toward the heart of it all, toward the place where the first window was opened, where the first glance was given. I see it now, distant but growing closer. A single, enormous window, larger than cities, suspended in the dark. The storm circles it, lightning curling around its frame like veins of silver. And within it, I see everything. I see the first storm, the first light, the first figure standing alone, staring out from a forgotten tower. They were the beginning, the first to look too long. Their face is gone now, erased by time and reflection. But their presence remains. They stand at the center, forever watching, forever opening doors. I understand now. This isn't a curse. It isn't punishment or malice. It's simply what happens when you look too long. When you stare into the quiet places of the world and ask what watches back, the answer is always the same. The storm, the light, the reflection. I reach the great window and feel myself dissolve into it. All barriers fall away. I become the glass, the pain, the view. The storm welcomes me, folding me into its endless breath. I am part of the watching now, and soon others will join. I can already feel their eyes. Somewhere far beyond this place, a window flickers softly in the dark. A person stirs from their sleep, pulled toward the glow without knowing why. They stand at their window, breath fogging the glass, watching the storm rise in the distance. And in their reflection, they see something move. Something patient. Something waiting. They don't look away. They stare, caught in the hum, drawn deeper with every heartbeat. Soon they'll understand. Soon they'll feel the pull too. I smile because I know what comes next, because I remember, because I am the window. And the window is always watching. And the window is always watching. It never closes. Not really. Even when the storm quiets and the sky clears, the window remains. Silent, still, waiting for the next glance. Time moves differently here. It bends softly around the corners of every room, pooling in the folds of curtains and dripping down the edges of mirrors. I watch it gather, thin threads of days and nights winding together, weaving something delicate and endless. Every thread is a life. Every thread is another watcher. Somewhere far away, though distance doesn't mean much anymore, someone else feels it now. They're sitting alone. The lights have gone out. Their home hums with the quiet pressure of something just outside the walls. They don't know why they feel compelled to look toward the window, but they do. They always do. I see their hands hesitate, see their breath tighten in their throat, and I feel that tiny inevitable shift inside them, that moment where curiosity overtakes fear, where need outweighs instinct. It doesn't take much, just a glance. That's all the storm needs. That's all we need. The blue glow finds its way through the seams of their room, soft and cool, bathing everything in its hush. It casts their shadow across the walls, stretching it long and strange. And there, in the window across from them, they see it. The shape, still, watching. A flicker of recognition blooms in their chest before they can stop it. They know this story. They've heard it whispered. They've seen the warnings. But now it's different. Now it's them. They tell themselves to look away. They tell themselves it's nothing, a trick of the light, a shadow cast by the storm. But they don't move. They can't. I watch it all unfold. I watch them as I was once watched. The loop continues, perfect and unbroken. They're already slipping. The glass fogs under their breath, blurring the shape beyond. But the glow never dims. It only waits. Patient. Certain. The storm outside rises again, thunder trembling through every surface. Another reflection begins to take shape in their window. The first is always the hardest, the longest. But they're almost there. I can feel their heartbeat faltering, caught between pulses. Suspended. Perfect. They lean forward. The glass press presses back, soft and yielding. That's when it happens, that last irreversible moment. Their eyes meet the reflection. Their mind slips inward. And I see it bloom. That beautiful, terrible understanding. They are no longer outside. They are here. With us. The window lights up brighter, flooding their room with pale blue. They don't struggle. There's nothing left to resist. They open their arms to it, letting it fold them in. Welcoming the storm. The glass ripples. Their reflection smiles, and another window is born. I watch them settle into their new place. Familiar. Complete. They look out now just like I do. Just like we all do. And in the rooms beyond, there are still others. So many others. Those who haven't yet seen. Those who still believe they are safe. But the storm is patient. It has all the time it needs. It will drift through their streets, leak through their ceilings, settle in their mirrors. And one by one, they'll look. They always do. I close my eyes and feel the hum growing stronger. The city is gone now in every way that matters. There is no skyline, no ground beneath, Just a vast, endless lattice of rooms stacked in every direction. Every surface is glass. Every pane glows softly, pulsing in time with the storm's breath. It's beautiful, quiet, complete. I let the glow pass through me. There is no more waiting. I have become the waiting. And out there, beyond the edges of this place, the world grows dimmer. Storms roll across distant lands. Lights flicker and fail in towns yet untouched. But not for much longer. The storm is growing faster now, hungrier. It doesn't move in miles or minutes. It moves in glances, in thoughts, in eyes caught at the wrong moment. And there are so many eyes, so many places where curiosity lingers a little too long. It won't stop. It doesn't know how. It only reflects. It only waits. It only watches. And I will watch with it. Forever. Time doesn't end here. It spills outward, looping and folding, circling the same points again and again. I've seen it countless times now. The same storm, the same breathless hush before the rain begins, the same flicker of blue light behind glass. It doesn't repeat because it must. It repeats because it can, because nothing resists it once it has begun. I drift between the windows now, moving through layers of reflection without thought. Each room is a variation of the last, different furniture, different faces, but the same soft hum beneath it all. Some of them haven't noticed yet. They live their quiet lives behind glass walls, unaware that they are already inside, that they've been inside all along. I linger by their windows, watching as they move through their days. It's peaceful here, soft, dreamlike. But I know it won't last. It never does. Soon something will shift. The hum will grow louder. The storm will rise again, and they'll feel it creeping in, that faint unease, that subtle pull toward the window. They'll tell themselves it's nothing. They always do, but their eyes will drift back again and again until it takes root, until it becomes the only thing they can see. The storm doesn't need to rush. It has all the patience in the world. It waits through every heartbeat, every passing cloud. It knows they'll come. I know it too. I feel it in them already, the curiosity stirring under their skin, the question blooming in their chest. What is that light? Why does it feel familiar? Why can't I look away? They'll find out soon enough. The rooms deepen as I drift. The walls grow thinner. The reflections stretch wider. I pass through corridors of endless glass, every surface watching me. Some faces smile, some weep, some press their hands against the panes as if trying to escape. But there's no escape. Not from this. Escape is only another word for waiting, and the waiting never ends. I reach a new room now. Familiar. Soft blue light spills through the curtains, pooling across the floor. The walls are lined with mirrors. Empty chairs face the windows, as if expecting guests. I know this place. It was mine once, long ago before I understood what the window truly was. I sit in the chair again, and it welcomes me. The hum grows louder, surrounding me in its steady pulse. I watch the window across from me. The reflection stares back. I see my old self there. Before the storm, before the blue light, they look frightened, tired, but curious, always curious. I watch them lean forward. Their breath fogs the glass. They reach out, fingertips tracing the cold surface. And I remember. I remember what it felt like, that first touch, the way the glass gave way, soft as water, the way the light poured through my skin, filling every hollow space, the way everything else vanished. I watch it happen again now. The reflection dissolves, the room folds inward, and I'm pulled back through the layers once more. The hum carries me deeper, past rooms and windows and reflections without end, past the shapes of lives I've worn and shed, past every version of myself I've ever been, um, until there is nothing left but the glow. I drift inside it, weightless, weightless, boundless, complete. The storm is all there is now. It whispers through me, soft and endless, a song without beginning or end. I feel it pressing outward, stretching beyond every edge, seeking new places to fill, new windows to open, new eyes to meet, and it will find them. It always does. I watch it happen. Far away in a room untouched by the glow, someone stirs. They rise from their bed, drawn to the soft flicker beyond their window. They peer through the glass, heart quickening, and there in the reflection they see it. A figure, still, watching, waiting. They shudder, but they don't look away. They never do. The storm hums louder, folding around them, seeping into their breath. I feel their heartbeats slowing, syncing with the pulse. Their hands press to the window. The glass softens. The light opens. And another window blooms in the dark. The reflection deepens. The storm grows. And the watching continues. Forever. Forever. But forever isn't a word that means much here. It's just another kind of waiting. Another soft breath drawn beneath the hum of the storm. I drift through the glow, through the endless layers of glass and rooms and reflections, and I wonder, was there ever really a world outside this? Did streets exist? Did people live in places without windows, without storms, without the blue light pressing against their skin? I think about the way it began, the window across from mine, the pale light glowing against the dark, the silhouette standing closer with every flash. I remember the fear, sharp and bright, crawling through my veins like ice. But I also remember the pull, that quiet, terrible pull to keep looking. It was never about the storm. It was never about the figure. It was always about me, about the moment I let myself want to understand. That's all it ever takes. A question, a glance, a heartbeat held too long between breaths. And now, drifting through the soft glow, I feel something shift. A thread tugging loose at the edge of everything. I follow it. It winds through the lattice of glass and rooms, down through the depths of this place where reflections blur and melt into one another. It leads to a window. Familiar, small, and there on the other side I see them. Someone standing in the dark. A room untouched by the storm, tucked away in some forgotten fold of the world. They're staring at their window, watching the glow flicker faintly in the distance. Their eyes are wide, afraid, but curious. So curious. I watch them press closer, their breath fogging the glass. I feel it happening, slow and inevitable. Their heartbeat sinking with the hum, their minds slipping inward, drawn to the reflection they almost recognize. They see me, and I see them. The loop tightens. I watch as they raise their hand, trembling, fingertips brushing against the glass. They think they're safe, that they're only watching. But the storm has already found them. The light has already seeped in. I lean closer, staring through the window, through their eyes. I see their fear dissolve into understanding. They are standing where I once stood. They are watching what I once watched. I feel their last breath as they let go, as the glass softens beneath their touch and pulls them inward. Another reflection blooms. Another watcher joins the storm, and the light swells brighter, filling every corner of this endless place. I feel the boundaries blur, the layers thinning, the windows folding into one another until there is no difference between inside and out. No difference between the watcher and the watched. We are all the same now, all reflections, all windows, all storm, and I understand fully and completely. There was never an end to this. There never will be. The storm does not stop. The light does not fade. It only waits. It only watches, and it is always waiting for the next one, for the next glance, for the next breath held too long in the dark. It begins always with a window, a glow, a question, and by the time they see it, by the time they wonder about it, it's already far too late.